Okay, so this is a video where I'm being a little vulnerable and I'm gonna try to be as transparent as possible. And it is hard, but I'm gonna do it. In this video, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna discuss my 401k balance. Yikes. And I'm also going to explain how long it took me to get there. I'm gonna break down my rate of return and where the money is invested in. Okay, but at first, before I start giving you guys the numbers and everything else, I want to give you guys some background because, like most people who are watching this video, and most people in general, they never had great financial education. Okay, I'm 43 years old. If you're in your 40s or in your 30s, most likely in high school, no one taught you anything about finances. And now parents, forget about it. They didn't teach us anything about finances. All they taught us was just to work hard and to go to college, get a good education. That's it. They didn't consider student loans and consider none of that. They just taught us to work hard and that's it. So with that being said, I had no understanding about 401k growing up. I had no understanding about a Roth IRA. I had no understanding about investing, period. I didn't know how much money to put into a savings account. I didn't know anything. I figured all this out, not in my 20s, more towards my 30s. So for anyone out there that didn't start in your 20s, you know, don't beat yourself up. But if you start in your 20s, life would have been a whole lot better, and you'll see from my video. So I don't want to keep you guys waiting. I'm going to first tell you exactly how much money is in my 401k account, and then I'm going to break it down from there and give you more details. So how much money I have in my 401k account. Currently, my balance is $103,873. And don't forget the 46 cents as of September 27, 2024. I don't know how I feel about that. There's times I see that amount and I'm like, I'm 43. There's just obviously no way I can retire today. That is impossible. If you guys know about the safe withdrawal rate, they say you can take 4% of the money. That's like nearly $400 a month. So that is not enough. But I tell you this, at the age in my 40s, I discovered I gotta go out there and work hard and grind and boost that up and boost my income up. That way I could retire early because my whole goal was to retire early. But I got news for you. When I seen that number and I was doing my research, I discovered this. Let me see. I was discovered from the Nerd Wallet that the actual average and the median of 401k balances within my age, 35 and 44, the average is 91,281. That is kind of scary. That amount seems very, very, very low. But as you see, I exceeded. So I guess I'm not doing that bad. And I explain a little bit later to you why I'm shocked by this. And the median is 35,537, right? If you guys don't know, the average is basically all amounts, even the outliers, divided by the number of participants. The median is the majority of balances where it meets, like in the middle. And 35,537. Woof, if there's anyone out there that makes that amount, me and you really need to start putting some money into investing because that is a very scary amount to have. Now, the reason why I'm shocked and the balance is that much and, well, that little is this. I really wasn't always putting money into my 401k account. That wasn't my thing. I started doing that in my 30s and I never went in like 15% and went hard. I only put what was the match. That's it. So I felt like I procrastinated and I was late to investing. But seeing with all the mistakes I made along the way and stumbling and not really knowing what to put money in, I guess I'm not that bad in a position, right? I thought I would be worse because I listened to Dave Ramsey's show. I haven't listened to it in a while, but when I did a lot, I hear people like in their 20s and their 30s talking about how they already have $1 million within their retirement account. And I'm like, sheesh, I am extremely behind and I need to catch up. To be honest with you, I use that as motivation and I fired up and I start putting so much money into my retirement account. But it shows you that really, like, even though you start late, the best thing to do is just manage your expenses. That way you can make this money continually stretch, because that's really the number one thing you want to do. You want to keep your expenses low when you get old, okay? But I always say to myself, man, imagine if I would have put money in as soon as I started working in 18. That amount would have been tremendously high. But that's the past, this is the future, so we're moving forward. Okay, so next what I want to discuss is my personal rate of return. Now guys, this is why investing is critical. You're never gonna find any of these type of returns. And I'll be honest with you, throughout my whole time in investing, it's been really close to this. But this year has been a booming year. Okay, so year to date, right, January 1st, 2020 to September 28th, I made 20.15% return. That's massive. Last month was 2.25. Boo. Last 3 months was 6.82. But dig this, the last 12 months, I made 35.49% return. That is ridiculously high. That's ridiculously awesome. I love it. So anyway, so with that being said, let me break down as well my balances by fund, because this is probably the most critical part. People want to know how the hell I got that high return, why I invested my money in. So I kept it simple, okay? I put money in a large cap stock index fund, as you see, and my balance in there is $57,836. And that right now compromises 55.68% of my portfolio. I have small, mid-cap stock index funds. If you guys don't know what these index funds are, I'm gonna explain in a minute. I have $6,779. As you see, that's a pretty small percent of my portfolio. I have large cap, and that's $32,469 and 31.26%. And I have mid cap, and that's $6,788 and $6.50. If you start to notice something, you're noticing probably the large caps are the ones that are dominating. And there's a reason for that. Let me explain to you now, because I was gonna break it down to what these index funds means. So what the large cap stock index fund is strictly just matches the return and the risk of the S&P 500, as you're seeing there. That's it. So it's an index fund that follows the S&P 500. So if you notice, a bulk of my returns are coming from that, and that is the simplest thing to do. That's not picking stocks. That's just investing and following what the market moves. That's all you need to do. Keep it really, really simple. It doesn't need to be that difficult. So in any retirement account you have, just remember, guys, just invest in anything that follows the S&P 500 and you're good. So the next thing is the small mid-cap stock index fund that seeks to match the return and the risk characteristics of the Russell 2500 index fund. That's all that does. So once again, as you notice, I'm not buying individual stocks. I'm buying funds that follow the market. Money also is in a large cap growth equity fund. Okay, that's one of them as well. You saw that made me a lot. That is what long-term capital growth through a combination of reinvested dividend income and capital appreciation. So these are older, bigger, longer companies that have been around forever, and a lot of them pay out a dividend. I don't take those dividend payments. What my account does, it takes those dividend payments and reinvests it right back into the market. So right back into that large cap growth equity fund. So I can get dividend payments if I make this purchase of this index fund outside on my own, but I choose not to because it's for retirement. So I keep everything in here in retirement. So as you see, a bulk of my money is coming from that. Awesome. And also why I invest in is in emerging markets equity funds. Those are long-term capital growth through a combination of reinvested dividend income and capital appreciation. Now, the strategy with this is coming from emerging markets. So it's coming from markets that are currently growing and they're building. So I'm investing in those markets where I'm not. Well, I am, but I'm doing it within an index fund that's following those markets. So when markets are booming, it's right along with it and it's enjoying the ride. Now, this is the thing where my mind got it got blown, because I did not know if I'll be able to retire a millionaire, because everyone talks about compound interest, but it's really hard to understand it unless you're experiencing it. And currently, I feel like I'm experiencing it because, man, $100,000 is a lot of money. I'm not putting $100,000 into my account, okay? That was just so much growth coming from it, and it's going to be even bigger. So I decided to make a 401k calculator to see if I'll be able to retire a millionaire. So that's what I did. This is what I did in the calculator, okay? I'm not going to reveal my annual salary just in case somebody from my job is watching it. So I'm just putting a guesstimate, okay? So I'm saying $75,000. Let's say I make $75,000 a year. That could be reasonable for a lot of people out there. So how much did I contribute? I contribute 7% into my retirement account. And I explain to you a little bit later why I do. How much will you earn? How much will your salary rise each year? Let's say the average people get per year is 1%. Once again, I don't want to reveal anything because of my job. So I'll just put the average people get 1%. This sucks. That's why people complain about wages being so bad. Let's say 1% because that's like the average. How old are you now? I'm 43. Let's say I wait to retire at the age of 65. I don't want to retire at 65. That's why I'm working hard now, because I do not want to be working to the age 65. If I had it my way, say 50 to 55, I leave corporate America and I could do something of my own. But let me get back to this. So what is your expected rate of return? Now, the average S&P 500 return on average is 10%. So I'm going to put just that. If I were an S&P 500 index fund, I should expect 10%. My current balance is $103,000 in my 401k, as you guys saw. Now, before I told you I put 7% into my retirement account, but this is the kicker. A lot of guys out there, man, if you have a job that has a 401k match, you need to use it. My job, luckily, they match dollar for dollar up to 7%. So if I put 7, they put 7. Awesome, win-win. And the salary limit for employer match is 6%. I still put a notch above it because that's just who I am, but they do go up to 6%. They match dollar for dollar. So thank you to my job for that. And with that being said, all those people who said, I hate my 9 to 5, I want to quit my 9 to 5, you're giving up a match as well. Now, that doesn't mean you're staying in a job because of the fact of you getting a match, but there is benefits of working a 9 to 5 as well. Okay, so how much money would I have, right, with all those numbers that I plugged in? I was surprised. And that's how much I have. I will have $1,696,411. So I would retire a millionaire, even though I thought I would never retire a millionaire. If I continue on this path with the same pay, which, come on, it's not gonna happen. I got my pay had to increase. Hopefully this YouTube channel starts picking up. I could start putting money into Wi-Fi away. I could get more than that. My total employee contribution is $128,475, okay? Which makes sense. That's just me putting 7% of my salary for the next, I think it was like 25 years. So that's how much money I put in, and my employer will put in $110,122 of their own. But as you see, damn near $1 million is all from growth in the market. Okay, now, I know people are thinking, well, the market goes up and down, yeah, but on average it's 10%. Okay, there's years it could be even more, a lot more, and there's years it could be less. But 10% is being generous, and look where I stand. So that is, guys, to let you know the importance of putting money into an investment account. It's never too late. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys out there, I was one of them, at the age of 43, seeing $100,000, I'm screwed. There's just no way I'm going to be able to retire. Oh yes, you will be able to retire. You just got to start today. Put money into your investment account, and guys, just put the match and just forget it. Worst case scenario, just get the match at work, okay, and then just forget it. And then once you start getting raises, you put a little more money in there, you increase your lifestyle creep. I mean, listen, it's a thing. But as long as you're increasing, you're investing your savings, it's okay if you increase your spending. As long as you make sure you take care of all these other things. Now, I really hope this video gave you guys a lot of great education and understanding that, guys, investing is critical. I started at the age of my 30s. If you started in your 20s, if I started in my 20s, that amount of money would have been ridiculously high. But am I going to settle on that 1.6 million? Hell no. Now I'm not going to make more than that. I could leave some money for my family, some money for my kids. I could enjoy life at retirement age. So that is certainly my goal. Catch you guys on my next video. Drop a comment down below, guys, and let me know how you feel about this. Peace.